We stumble our way into 2023. What should we expect this year? Probably more of the same, but a little bit worse, because this is a continuous downward trend. Well, I guess there's some reasons to be optimistic. I'll think of them in a minute and let you know. Well, we can at least be optimistic that, oh no, we can't be optimistic about that. We're supposed to have a recession this year. That makes me optimistic in a strange, perverse kind of way. It's just like, well, of course we are. People are getting a little bit more in their paychecks. So aside from prices going through the roof, it doesn't really matter. There has to be a recession. There has to be one because workers are getting spoiled. And this is the constant cry we hear from employers across Canada and the US. We just can't find good people anymore. Well, I think those good people really want good wages. Oh, go figure. It's just one of those strange things that human beings want to be able to do, like sleep and eat, in a warm place. And, this is too much to ask in modern society because we have other things that are priorities. What things? Well, it depends where you live, I suppose, but the same thing everywhere. The corporatocracy. My fuzzy old brain drifts back to 2011 and the Occupy movement and how much hope I had in that. I thought maybe finally people are talking about inequality. Well, that was 11 years ago. People are still talking about inequality, but nobody's doing a damn thing about it. It's only grown worse. I think the problem with the Occupy movement was that it was never organized properly, and without organization, you're never going to get anywhere. So it just sort of petered out, and although people really did support it, a large number of people supported it, most people tended to, it's those crazy hippies again, and those crazy kids. And it was just a time where people actually wanted to bring back some sort of an idea of a caring society. So in the good news department, good news travels slowly, but it makes it here eventually. And just to say that everything doesn't always have to get worse. It usually does, but once in a while, we can eke out a small victory. President Lula was sworn into office in Brazil, while his predecessor, Mr. Balls and Arrows, the Mr. Burn the Amazon, escaped to Florida. Now, why he boarded a plane to Florida is anybody's guess. It's not like Florida has anything in common with a right-wing lunatic. Oh wait, who else lives there? Right, another right-wing lunatic. Yes, lots of right-wing lunatics in the Sunshine State. Oh, and the absolute horror of a leftist president in charge of all those resources. Some people just can't handle it. He's going to give money to the poor. He's going to improve their lives like he did before. He's going to give rights to indigenous people. The horrors, oh my God, the horrors of a leftist government. Next thing you know, they're going to be calling him a Marxist, socialist, communist, pinko, you name it. They'll call him that. Why? Well, because big corporations really liked balls and arrows. They liked burning things. They liked burning the earth down. They continue to do it at every opportunity that they get with no questioning whatsoever about what they're doing. I think that all these authoritarians get together on a weekly basis and start making plans for military coups and stuff like that. Lula da Silva was president of Brazil for many years. He reduced the rate of poverty, and he protected the indigenous people, and he protected as much as he could the Amazon, which Bolsonaro just took a meat axe. Burn, baby, burn. And it doesn't matter if we're in the sixth mass extinction. Wow, the mainstream media is finally speaking a little bit about the loss of biodiversity on the planet. Imagine, they're actually concerned about it. I watched a report on 60 Minutes, which was quite amazing, and telling us stuff that, well, Sam Mitchell at Collapsed Chronicles, or Hambone Littletail, I can't remember which one. I think it was Hambone originally, has been talking about this for years. So they actually interviewed Paul Ehrlich, another thing that Hambone beat him to. Paul Ehrlich wrote The Population Bomb way back in 1968, and people were worried, but then the agricultural revolution happened. More chemical fertilizers and shit meant more people could eat and more could breed and not worry about it until now. Now we are looking at a very dark future. Unneeded, unwanted people desperately seeking the resources to survive for another day. But hey, this is supposed to be a happy show, right? So let's think of other happy things that might have happened in the recent week. What other happy things happened? Oh, come on, there must be one. If you can think of anything happy that happened, put it down. Because I'm trying to be happy. I'm trying to get over my bout of severe depression that the holidays brought as my Christmas present. So I need happy news. You know, just one little bit of happy news, something good. Yeah, maybe you got a new puppy or a kitten, and maybe that's making you happy. That's good. My cats drive me out of my mind, but I still love them. What is it about the southern U.S. that makes people more vicious and more angry? The state of Alabama just had a couple of botched executions. Took hours, and people screaming in pain. So they decided they're going to bring back a much more humane method of state murder. They're bringing back the gas chamber. If you look at the history of this barbaric medieval torture, you will find it filled with people taking forever to die, eyes bulging out, choking. But we like to continue those traditions somehow. We like to get that retribution in, to create more pain and agony than has already been created. Do you know how many people on death row have been exonerated afterwards? So it's unevenly applied according to race, according to where you live. It's barbaric, and I will always be against capital punishment, no matter what the circumstances. It is never morally justified. I woke up from a sound sleep in the middle of the night. My wife woke me up and said, there's a problem. My water heater had exploded all over the basement. Yes, my life is wonderful like that. So, after just falling asleep, ran downstairs, turned the valve off. Well, actually, I kind of stumbled downstairs, but that's another story. Turned the valve off, and we started to clean with mops and shop vacs and implements of destruction. And we finally got it fixed today. Somebody came and put a new water heater in, saying that the one that we had was 20 years old, and this just happens, right? So it's like nothing's built to last, right? 20 years, right? I used to think of 20 years and it would be like forever and ever and ever when you were young, but now it just seemed like yesterday. Well, I guess It's gonna just keep accelerating and accelerating and accelerating from here on in. It's nothing but up, and I'm feeling up, and I'm feeling happy, and I'm glad to know everybody here. Now leave a comment. I respond to every comment that you write. I appreciate it very much. I spend my Sunday afternoon looking through my comments and trying to build up my fragile ego just a little bit. AI, oh my God, AI chatbot. So I'm seeing these YouTube videos about this chatbot thing that's supposed to be amazing, and you can get it to write scripts for you and everything. I just like, it's replacing all kinds of jobs probably, but I was curious about it and decided to, okay, I'll try it. I'll download it and then write some stuff and see what happens. And but I couldn't do it because they wanted my phone number. So I wrote my phone number down. Oh, we do not use landlines for registering. That's all I have is a landline. I'm a Luddite. So I guess I'm too much of a Luddite to experience the joys of artificial intelligence. Oh, well, what can you do? Thank you for listening. See you next week. Goodbye. Stay happy.
Well, I'm happy. Oh, so happy. Happy as anyone ever could be. Yes, I'm happy. Happy, happy, happy. Oh, I'm so happy. So happy I could just take a shit. I'm happy. Happy and happy. Won't you be happy now with me?